Dia akan start lagi berapa minit sebab dia ada counting sini.
Okay, actually we are live now. Rizo, Douglas. Okay, Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera, Douglas and Rizo. Thank you for for accepting my invitation. Hari ini kita buat santai je. We're talking about helping refugees and probably helping others through arts. We are now live on Facebook on my page, Boon Talk Show. This is my first ever talk show that I do it. Okay. First thing first. I have to see, so forgive us. I think I need to see the comment as well. If there is any comment on that live, I still cannot see. So please bear with me. Probably we can start dengan introduce ourselves. Probably start with you, Douglas.
Okay. Thanks for having me, Sharo. An honor to be your first guest. So my name is Douglas. I am the coordinator of Young Lives Development Center. And basically we are an NGO that helps marginalized young people from different communities by providing them life skills. So things like English, computer skills, personal development, professional development, entrepreneurship, and media literacy. So in KL, what I do is I run the programs, to help refugees, especially those from Myanmar, Chin State and Kachin State, because these are refugees who fall through the cracks of the education system. So they are not able to get education in a formal sense in Malaysia. And that's why they need alternative education. And that's where me and my team here try to help these communities by providing these programs. So that's the brief about myself.
Thank you, Douglas. Douglas is a young man, he's only about 30. Now over to you, Rizo from Ranau, Sabah.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. Nama saya Rizo Leong. Saya berasal dari Ranau, Sabah. Salah seorang pengasas kolektif Pangrok Sulap. Kolektif Pangrok Sulap ini ya sebuah kolektif kesenian yang menggunakan seni untuk memperkasakan community. Itu secara ringkas tentang diri saya.
Okay, so kita ada satu you program coordinator, Douglas, for marginalized young people. So marginalized young people is either anyone, locals, or just focus on specifically on refugees that you're helping?
Young Lives actually is a number of centers actually. So we have one in Philippines, one in Laos, two in Myanmar, one in Malaysia, and one in Colombia. So each corresponds to a certain community need. When we started out in Philippines, for example, we help the youths from the slum, those who scavenge garbage for living, and we try to give them training to let them be call center agents, which is a step up from what they are doing, right? So basically each center deals with a specific population, and in KL we deal specifically with refugees for the time being. Although we also have some students from Sabah, Sarawak also. But those are fewer.
All right. So you have only one in KL, your center?
Yes.
So how many people is under your NGO currently, Douglas?
You mean staff, is it?
Probably staff and also your client, the refugees.
So in terms of students or our clients, usually about 50 a year, So we go by semesterly basis. One semester maybe about 20 to 30 like that. So in terms of our team, we have a team of 4 running the center, including me. So apart from that, we also have an online platform now, but it's still prototyping. So we are running online classes, kind of like an online school of sorts. And we are hoping to get students from different communities as well, using that.
Okay, actually I'm not quite clear on that refugee kind of stuff. So are they like macam dekat tempat, the penjara POW or kena tahan, or are they in the normal housing, or so where's your class? It's only online or macam mana?
Because of COVID, we don't have offline classes anymore lah. You know, ever since COVID, everything has to stop, and that's why we are moving things online lah. You know, as much as possible, so that we can still continue classes and still provide them education lah, which they need, and it also becomes a little bit like an escape for them also, you know, because work is difficult and they need something to look forward to lah. And sometimes education can be that, you know. In terms of the population that you are asking, basically a lot of our refugees are either economic refugees. So especially those from the Chin state. The Chin state in Myanmar is the poorest state in Myanmar, you know. So just to give a sense of how poor they are, one of my students actually told me that, you know, just last year, the family finally afforded a fridge, you know. So that's how poor they are lah, in general. And electricity is definitely on and off. Quite a number of places don't have electricity, and even when they have electricity, it's not stable, you know. So a lot of them are economic refugees that come from there, but there's also a good number that comes from the Kachin state. The Kachin state is further north, and that's where they are still having a civil war, you know, between the Kachin Independent Army and also the Burmese government lah, you know. So that region, if people come from there, usually it's because they want to avoid being drafted to the war, for example, or they just want to escape that situation lah, you know, by going overseas.
So how do they come here to Malaysia? How many are they? Is it the same of Rohingya, you know, the Chin one? No.
No, it's a different ethnicity lah. No, I think the Rohingya situation is more sensitive, and also it's more violent and volatile lah. You know, that is a more difficult situation, I feel. How do they come here? Usually by illegal means lah. but sometimes also they come here with a passport and a work permit, you know. And what they choose to do is they choose to not renew, you know. They choose to not go back lah, and let their passport lapse, you know. So usually it's one of these two ways lah.
Okay, not that they come by boats like, you know, Rohingya, you know, they smuggle.
They do, yes. They do. They use, from what I understand, is they use a series of different transportation to get here, you know. So like you say, they go through Thailand. Sometimes they kind of have like a bus trip all the way to Thailand, and then from Thailand they have a series of other trips, and then they go through the jungle, from what I understand.
All right.
You know, and then after that they pass through, and then they will have some agents here who can facilitate their journey lah.
Do you know how much in total are they? I mean, the refugees, Myanmar refugees.
I think it's about 150,000 if my figures are still correct. It's about 150,000.
It's all from, including the Rohingya and everything.
Including the Rohingya, I'm not sure lah.
Okay. This is from just the Chin states, about 150,000. Wow. Okay. Because, you know, basically general public, especially like myself, we don't really know much about them, whether they have certain rights, or whether they come here, we can simply deport them back, or is there any that we sign a UN charter, right, that we have to take care of them, so, you know?
Yep, that is a bit more tricky lah, you know, because like what you rightly pointed out, I think basically they are party lah, you know, pendatang asing tanpa izin, you know. So they are considered illegal lah, and yes, they can and they will be deported, you know, if we use the law as a benchmark lah, you know. What is happening is that, you know, usually countries will sign an agreement with the UN, you know, to say that hey, let's sign an agreement, you know, and then the refugees, you know, we will treat them according to UN law, lah, right? UN regulations, and you know, they will have education, they will have medical, you know, they will have a path to citizenship and all these things. But the problem is Malaysia didn't sign that, no. So what happens is, you know, they didn't sign that, and they still set up UN offices here, you know, UNHCR offices here. And so there is a close one eye situation, you know. So the government says, we will allow UNHCR to do your things here, but we are not going to sign the agreement, and you pandai lah, you know. So what tends to happen is, for example, you know, during the raids, during the operasi, you know, a large bunch of them will be arrested. If they have UN cards, usually the UN can facilitate their release in, say, a couple of weeks, usually lah, if things don't go wrong, you know. So it's this kind of, I don't know, you scratch my back, I scratch your back kind of agreement, you know, that allows some stability lah. But otherwise, formally, they are not recognized. You know?
So, you know, what's the situation like? You know, they can be deported anytime. So how long can they stay, or what are basically, you know, the actions by our government? If they don't recognize, basically they can ship them back, right?
Yes.
Simple as that.
Yes, simple as that lah. You know, simple as that. They are not bound by any convention to keep them here lah. You know.
Okay. But despite that, we have got 150,000 of them here. So is that legal or what?
It's usually not lah. You know?
Usually not. Okay.
That's why you see they can't get jobs here, right? So they usually have they usually still get work, you know, in the service sectors and things like that. So if you, I realized this after I started working, you know. I started looking, I can start to recognize Myanmarese faces lah. You know, after you work with them for a while, you can, right? And I realized that a lot of our restaurants actually have Myanmarese staff. It's just that you need to look a bit harder lah, you know.
But you need the UN card for you to be able to work legally, right?
No, even with the UN card, you can't work legally here.
So technically, they're all illegal. I mean, you can.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah. If they are refugees lah, no. If they're refugees, they are not supposed to work. That's why for a time, right, especially with the Rohingya issue, this a lot of NGOs and have been lobbying harder, you know, because the Rohingya issue is quite salient. You know, people can see it, people can relate to it a bit stronger, you know. So the NGOs have been saying, hey, you know, you look at this Rohingya thing, why don't we think about giving all of them jobs, you know, letting them legally have jobs, right? Because they can sustain their lives, and also they eventually pay taxes lah, you know. So why not we do that? And it's because of the Rohingya issue that there was some discussion over that for a while, and then I think closer to COVID it just disappeared lah, the discussion from Parliament, no. So yeah, it will take some time lah before they can actually legally have jobs.
All right, thanks, Douglas. I think I go to Rizo. I know I got too many things to ask because I don't know much about this refugee. I think.
Thanks for asking.
Outside there also, no, you just want to know certain, you know, how come you come here that you can be deported anytime? No, I mean, you don't think about jobs or anything. No, I don't know where they're staying. You know, there is one in Jalan Bellamy, the up on that Bukit one. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Is that
the one you are talking about, the UN office, is it?
Yeah, I think about UN office,
Yes.
Myanmar office. I saw plenty of them sometimes.
Yeah. Because the UNHCR office is somewhere there, no? So that's probably why you see a lot of them coming and queuing up and things like that, you know?
Okay. Thanks, Douglas. I don't want to be keeping Rizo too long. Kata kesian dia tengok saya. So I'll try
santai.
Jaga je between you. Tak ada, just not fair because I put you, unless it's strictly to Douglas saja.